Good morning, students. The topic that we are going to discuss today on page number 48, Formal Sector Credit in India, from your chapter Money and Credit. So, what is a formal sector? Formal sector is the one that provide loans in India. There are two sectors. One is formal sector, another is informal sector. Formal sector includes loans from banks and cooperatives, and the informal sector includes the loans which are taken from money lenders, traders, employers, relatives, and friends. So, there is a graph 1 in your books. This shows the credit situation in India. So, if you look at the different colors, you will come to know that the banks are giving 25%, cooperatives are giving 25% of the entire loans, and then government 1%. And what about the money lenders? It is the highest percentage, 33%, informal source of loan. Then landlords, they give 1%, and other institutional agencies, they give 5%, relatives and friends 8%, which is also informal, and other institutional agencies is given at the top also, which is 2%. So what is the difference between the formal sector and the informal sector? This is very important to understand. We already know that what category comes under the formal sector and what comes under the informal sector. But now further, we will try to differentiate between the two. Reserve Bank of India, it actually responsible for supervising the functioning of the formal sources of loans. So it supervises also, it controls also, it monitors also the banking system or the cooperatives that are giving loans to the people. So how the Reserve Bank of India does this thing? How it controls the bank? It makes the bank to maintain a minimum cash balance out of the total deposits they are getting from the depositors, which they are using to provide loans to the borrowers. So RBI actually monitors the bank that they are maintaining this minimum cash balance, which is mandatory, so that the people who are coming for withdrawal of money, they face no problem. RBI makes sure that the bank is also giving the loans not only to the profit making businesses but also to the small farmers, cultivators, small industries, small borrowers. So the people who are in need, they should also be taken care by the banks. So how the bank is being monitored by RBI? Because the RBI, it is checking the information which is mandatory for the bank to submit periodically. Okay, they tell how much money they are lending, to whom they are lending the money, and what is the rate of interest they are charging. RBI sees that the bank should not charge very high interest from the people. That is also RBI monitors. But what about the informal sector? Who supervises them? Who controls them? Nobody. They can do whatever they want. They can charge whatever interest they want to charge. There is no organization which can control them. There is no organization which can stop them from exploiting their borrowers. That is the reason that people who are providing loans, who belong to the informal sector, they are charging very high rate of interest to the borrowers, as we have earlier seen in an example of a village, Sonpur, where we analyzed so many different borrowers. The one who was taking loan from the bank, he was being charged only 8.5% per annum rate of interest. But Shamal, who was taking loan from the trader, he was being charged much more than that. So we have already seen that thing in the previous example. What are the ways in which we are going to further compare them, the formal sector and the informal sector? Firstly, they are charging very high rate of interest, they are charging very less rate of interest. We talked about RBI controls, monitors them, but here there is no authority in case of informal sector. Then it is given that high cost of borrowing. What does it mean? It means that the borrower will pay the loan amount also, and he will also pay a large amount of interest. So his income is gradually reduced, like Shamal in Sonpur. This will lead to increase in debt trap, and we have already discussed this situation in the previous section which is covered from this chapter. Banks and cooperatives, they should be doing what in order to avoid this situation, in order to save people from exploitation from the informal sector? The cooperative societies and banks, they should lend more to the people. What it would lead to? It would lead to increase in incomes of the people. They can borrow the loans, more loans for their needs, and at a very low rate of interest. Their living conditions will improve. Their business will improve if it is a small scale industry. So cheap and affordable credit is crucial for the country's overall development, as given in your books. So let's see the next, formal and informal credit. Who gets what? There is a graph to given. You see the graph is divided into poor households with few assets, well-off households, and high income group households. So you see most of the people in the poor household, 85% people, they are taking loans from the purple or blue. From the blue part is more, from blue part represents the informal sector. They are taking more loans from the informal sector. And what about 15% people only take from loan from formal sector? Now the households with assets, they take 50-50 almost ratio. Then well-off people, mostly they take loan from the formal sector and very few take from the informal. And very high income group, every person is taking loan from the formal sector except 10% of the people. So you see, better is the situation of a person, and he will be taking loan from the banks and from the cooperatives, which is the formal sector. So we are able to understand these 4 categories of households who are taking loans from the formal and informal sector. So if you could see, when we are talking about people with less income, they are taking or borrowing loans from the informal sector at a very high rate of interest. And what is important here, that the formal sector should come up and should provide support to these people, so that in the rural areas people can take loans from the formal sector and they can avoid the informal sector, which is a burden on their income. Secondly, formal sectors, they need to be expanded so more people can take loans from the banks and the cooperatives. Right now what is happening, only rich people, high income group is taking loan from banks, but they should be extended and they should cover the formal as well as the informal sector. What is required, that the formal should be expanded and the informal sector can be avoided by the people. So mostly all the people should be covered under the formal sector. Formal sector is needed to be expanded. Okay students, I hope you have understood this topic of formal sector credit in India. Next class we would discuss the next topic. Thank you.